In the playoffs, the pressure's on you.
We haven't accomplished anything yet.
The only thing that matters is only to win.
This team is resilient. We're going to play hard.
We're going back to a very hostile environment. We've got our work cut out for us.
You win or you go home.
We are back at Miller Park in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is Brew City, and it is rocking. They had over 88,000 fans in games 1 and 2 combined, and it is a jam-packed house here at Miller Park. The fifth and deciding game of the National League Division Series between the Milwaukee Brewers, champions of the Central, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, champions of the West. Hi, everybody, from inside Miller Park. We welcome you back to postseason action here on TBS. Along with Joe Simpson, I'm Victor Rojas. We mentioned that home field advantage. It certainly has played out that way for the Milwaukee Brewers. One of the best records in baseball here at home. That's why Ron Renicky played for the home field advantage that last game of the regular season. But I tell you what, you look at those two games in here at Milwaukee, the two in Arizona, the home team has played well, but advantage perhaps going to Arizona with the way they played the last two games.
When we left here a few days ago, Victor, it looked like Milwaukee was going to coast through this division playoff. But that's not the case. Arizona went home and got hot. They scored 18 runs, 24 hits, and among those hits, 5 home runs, 2 grand slams. They're riding an emotional high. They're a different club coming back here to Milwaukee than the one that first arrived here in Milwaukee for the postseason, and the pressure squarely on the shoulders of the Brewers.
Well, let's go back to game 1. Two very fine starters. Giovanni Gallardo going from Milwaukee, Ian Kennedy going for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Both pitched well up until Kennedy gave up the home run. They're matched up once again today.
Lowest scoring game of the series. It was a 4-1 game. It was only a 2-0 game going to the bottom of the 7th. Ian Kennedy's got to figure out a way to control Braun and Fielder. They had 5 of those 8 hits against him. For Gallardo, after he got through the first inning, he retired 19 of the next 21. He was outstanding. But sometimes the first inning can be a problem. We'll see if that's a factor today in what should be a close ball game.
Well, in game 5, you always know it's going to be Johnny Holstaff. Both teams have very good bullpens. They can shut things down if needed.
Whoever has the lead late in the ball game has a decided advantage because both of these bullpens are shut-down pens. The Brewers, led by their closer, John Axford, when leading after 7, they had 79 wins against only 6 defeats. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, a similar pen led by their closer, J.J. Putz. At the end of the ball game, Kirk Gibson very confident in his crew. They're 73-4 when they lead after 7. Whoever scores early has a decided advantage, and you don't want to be behind heading to the latter stages of this game.
It is win or go home. The Beast versus the Snakes. We're just about ready for baseball in Brew City. Sit back, relax. We've got lineups and first pitch when we return. Just about 10 minutes before we came on air, they have closed it. We mentioned the raucous crowd, and there may be a reason for the closing of the roof. Let's go down to Sam Ryan, who's got more.
Absolutely, Victor. It's a picture-perfect day here in Milwaukee. About 80 degrees, sunny skies. Roof is closed, panels open. They say it's for consistency. All 4 games of this series between both ballparks played under closed roof. But, hey, it does help keep the crowd noise in. And Miller Park is rocking this afternoon. Take a look at here. This is just how the Brewers like it. 57 home wins during the regular season. Not only a franchise record, but that was best in the majors this season. And we'll see if the home field works towards their advantage, Victor.
Thanks a lot, Sam. But there's no question the Brewers fed off that home field advantage last Saturday and Sunday. The Diamondbacks did the same. They have some momentum going into this one, and we'll take a look at that starting lineup for Kirk Gibson and the Arizona Diamondbacks, brought to you by Autotrader.com. The Diamondbacks 94-68 in the regular season have Willie Bloomquist leading things off at shortstop. Aaron Hill will play second base. Justin Upton is in right field. Miguel Montero finally woke up a little bit in the 2 games in Arizona. He is the cleanup hitter. Ball Goldschmidt is the first baseman. Chris Young in center field. Ryan Roberts will play third base. Gerardo Parra is back in left field, hitless in this division series, and Ian Kennedy will bat ninth and do the pitching. They're taking on the 25-year-old Texas native by the name of Yovani Gallardo.
This is a bit of a coming out party for Yovani Gallardo here. A lot of national attention. He won the first game going 8 strong innings, only gave up 4 hits and a run. He throws hard, has a 6-0 career record against Arizona. That includes game 1. He walked 1, struck out 9. The only run he allowed was a home run to Ryan Roberts late in the ball game. 90 to 95 fastball, hard curve, slider, and an occasional changeup.
Joe, the one thing we saw from both guys, tempo. They kept the tempo up to their advantage as far as the starting pitchers are concerned. And the first one here is upstairs, and that's how we start this ball game off. Bloomquist with a 1-ball, no strike count, hitting .353. Throughout this DS, .266 during the regular season. He takes a fastball away, and it's 2-0.
First inning critical for Gallardo. He gave up 9 first-inning home runs this year. That tied for the most in the major leagues among starters. And his ERA in the first inning, 5.73. And he had trouble in the first in game 1.
Pumps in a fastball right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nine of the strikeouts that Gallardo picked up in game 1. 6 of them were looking as Bloomquist reaches for this one, bounces one over to Betancourt, and there's the first out of the ball game.
Here's the rest of the defense behind Gallardo, and a Brewers club that can't afford to make any mistakes today. Braun, Morgan, and Hart in the outfield as Niger Morgan is back out there after missing game 4. Hairston, Betancourt, Weeks, and Fielder need to make the plays on the ground, as Betancourt just did. And Jonathan Lucroy back behind the plate for the start here in game 5.
Here's Aaron Hill. Had a nice division series for the Diamondbacks. .357, 5 for 14, a home run and an RBI. Takes a strike. It probably should have been 6 for 15. Well, I take that back. Should have had a double as opposed to one of those singles that he picked up. Robbed of a double down the line on a missed call by the left field umpires. He pulls this one foul just wide of the bag at third, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Shadows certainly a problem here at Miller Park in day games, but right now the shadow runs from the left field foul line into center. The pitcher and hitter are both in the shadow, which is really to the advantage of the hitters right now, being able to see the pitches clearly. Defensively, not so much. Hard to see for the third baseman and shortstop.
0-2, a breaking ball. And it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Talked to Don Baylor before the game, Victor, and I asked him about the adjustments they were going to have to make on Gallardo. And he said, the one thing I want to see happen is I don't want to see third strikes on fastballs. We took some, we swung at some and missed. He said, I want guys connecting on fastballs early in the count.
As we talked throughout the division series, the Diamondbacks a very aggressive offensive unit. The 1-2, and then it is pulled foul. The count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Gallardo a 17-game winner this year. A new career high for him. Over 200 innings, finished up with 207 and a third. There's that first inning hiccup, if you want to call it that, for Gallardo.
Yeah, his season ERA at 3.5, and his first inning ERA again at 5.73.
Hill swing and a miss. Lucroy will apply the tag, 2 outs.
But he's just not a fastball guy. He's got a great curveball, as you'll see right here. A real 12-6 downer, and he can change speeds on it. He can throw it hard. He can back off it a little bit, let it work as an off-speed pitch, but just an outstanding curve to go with that mid-90s fastball.
There's Justin Upton with 2 outs and nobody on. 3 for 16 in the series with a home run, 2 runs batted in. He takes a big rip there, fouls it straight back. It's 0-1.
Got a good pitch to hit, too.
The home run of the 2 runs batted in came in Sunday's game, game 2 of this series, and it was right here at Miller Park.
Another reason this first inning is so important for Gallardo is that the Diamondbacks had scored a total of 7 runs in the 2 games in Arizona in the first inning. Set the tone for the whole game. But I don't expect any kind of offense like that today against these 2 pitchers, especially the way they pitched in game 1.
Yeah, if they're capable of coming out here and doing exactly what they did in game 1, it should be a low-scoring game. 1-1 pitch, missed outside, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
First inning runs in this series. Diamondbacks did not score in the first inning of either of the games here at Miller Park, but certainly made up for it at Chase Field.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Missed inside. Gallardo thought he had it. A couple of steps towards the dugout, a full count.
93 riding in a little bit. Lucroy held it there, but a little inside for Jeff Kellogg.
Montero on deck. Here's a 3-2. That is fouled off to the right.
Kirk Gibson acknowledged that with the inexperience of his club coming into this division series, maybe they were a little taken aback by this crowd here in Milwaukee in game 1 especially. But he said they're not going to be surprised at anything now, and they're playing with such confidence it really doesn't matter to them.
They know what to expect now. Gallardo's trying to go 1-2-3 to start this game. Got Bloomquist on a ground out, Hill on a strikeout. Another 3-2, and that's down to the dirt. And he walked him. A 2-out free pass puts a man on, and it keeps the inning alive for Montero. Take a look at the umpiring crew for game 5. Jeff Kellogg is behind the plate. James Hoy over at first base. Ron Kulpa at second. Alfonso Marquez is at third base. Bruce Dreckman is down the right field line, and the crew chief is Joe West. He is down the left field line.
See how aggressive Kirk Gibson might be here with 2 outs. Upton stole 21 bases this year. And early runs, as we saw in last night's game in New York, so important, especially to a club playing on the road.
First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner. No balls and a strike on Montero. Started off the division series in the first 2 games going 0 for 8, but picking up the pace. 5 for 8 over the last 2 games.
And there's no substitute for those 2-out runs and what they've done, especially with their work at home.
Quick check in once again of Upton.
A refresher on Lucroy. He does not have a great throwing arm. He relies on a quick release. Had a poor percentage of throwing out base stealers, around 15%.
Oh, 1 pitch. Down in the dirt, gets away from Lucroy, and it'll go to the dugout steps. Upton is at second base via the wild pitch.
Breaking ball. Lucroy did just about everything he could. Went down to block it and then had it skip off what looked like his glove right into the dugout. So 2 quick outs, and then here's that first inning problem rearing its ugly head again for Gallardo. Again, after he got through the first in game 1, including the last out of the first inning, he retired 19 of the next 21.
1-1 pitch. Check swing foul. Goldschmidt making a nice play in the on deck circle. That's 1 and 2. That'll get this crowd back up. No late arrivals here at Miller Park.
No, sir. They were here early, tailgating.
20th pitch of the inning coming up. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Upton is standing at second base. The second time now in this inning we've seen Gallardo step off, unable to get on the same page with Lucroy. The 1-2 down the dirt. This time Lucroy smothering that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of breaking balls this inning too, and trying real hard to keep the ball down, as any pitcher would, especially to this part of their order. But Lucroy having to work extra hard in the first inning. Got him in the shoulder and came up. I've gotten up under his mask too.
And perhaps the approach by Gallardo and Lucroy here with the breaking pitches, a residual effect of the way the Diamondbacks swung the bats in games 3 and 4 in Arizona. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, on the right. Ron Renneke, the skipper, on the left. But the one thing Gallardo did, especially after that first inning, as you pointed out, really established that fastball early. Both pitchers did, Kennedy and Gallardo. A lot of fastballs in game 1. Here's the 2-2 pitch outside.
Try to cutter, maybe a slider there to catch the back door on Montero. He's got a base open for him if he so chooses. Doesn't have to give in. And the powerful Paul Goldschmidt on deck. Yeah, after the game, after game 1, Gallardo said that he settled in by being able to throw his fastball to both sides and command it.
Here's the payoff pitch, and he got him looking on the inside corner. Down goes Montero. The inning comes to an end. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless in Milwaukee. For the Milwaukee Brewers, Corey Hart leading things off in right field. Nigel Morgan back in the lineup. He's in center. Ryan Braun is in left field. The cleanup hitter is Prince Fielder. He'll play first. Ricky Weeks has scuffled throughout this division series. He's at second base. Jerry Harrison's done a nice job for Ron Renicky. He's at third. Yuniesky Betancourt is the shortstop. Jonathan Lucroy is behind the dish. And Giovanni Gallardo rounding out that starting nine, batting ninth. They take on the 26-year-old Huntington Beach, California native by the name of Ian Kennedy.
A 21-game winner this year, 21-4, a 2.88 ERA. Did not pitch poorly in game one. He went 6 2/3 innings, and going to the bottom of the 7th inning, he trailed only 2-0. But they decided to pitch to Prince Fielder with a base opener. He hit a 2-run homer, made it a 4-0 game at that point, and the Brewers won it 4-1. He's got a low 90s fastball, likes to pitch up in the zone, good curveball, and an excellent changeup.
Tied with Clayton Kershaw with 21 victories in the National League, and Corey Hart looks at a strike. Hart hit .285 during the regular season with 26 home runs. He's 4 for 17 in this series with a home run and 3 runs batted in. Fouls one off to the right. And it's quickly an 0-2 count.
Ron Renicky, without saying it out loud, made it very apparent that they will play for an early run if they get a chance, the Brewers.
0-2 pitch, broken bat, flare down the first base line, and it just tails foul and away from Goldschmidt. The count remains at 0-2 as Hart picks up some new lumber. Go back to the top of the first with Montero at the plate.
This was right there. May have caught Montero looking for another breaking ball, but just a beautiful pitch, two-seamer that came back over the inside corner for the strikeout.
A couple of strikeouts for Gallardo in the top of the first. 0-2 pitch again. Hart bounces this one to short. Bloomquist comes in. He'll retire Hart, and there's out number 1.
The defense for the Diamondbacks. Again, a very solid outfield that can go get them. Parra, Young, and Upton. The infield's been solid in this series, too, with Bloomquist and Hill up the middle, really making all the plays. The kid Paul Goldschmidt at first base, Montero doing the catching. And he can throw.
1 out, nobody on for Nigel Morgan, the center fielder. Showing bunt, takes a strike. Morgan just 1 for 11 in this series with 2 runs batted in. Acquired at the end of spring training from the Washington Nationals in exchange for Cutter Dykstra. That pitch caught the corner, and it's 0-2.
Ron Renicky really wrestled with this position playing today. Carlos Gomez last 3 games in regular season, and then the big game in game 4 in Arizona, playing great. But Renicky said, this is our lineup against a right-hander. We're going to stay with it.
Climbing the ladder with the fastball, and it's 1-2. Gomez had a 2 for 3 game, a single, a sacrifice bunt, a 2-run home run, and a stolen base. Kennedy's 1-2. Morgan pops it up. Bloomquist stepping onto the outfield grass, puts it away, 2 outs.
Good fastball there from Kennedy at 93. Kind of the top of the range for him. But you saw him try to go up the ladder, as you pointed out, Victor, and try to get Morgan to chase that high fastball.
Here's Ryan Braun with 2 outs and nobody on. Battle of California natives, Kennedy and Braun. 7 for 15 in this series, a .467 average. 3 doubles, a home run, 4 runs batted in. Great season for Braun at .332, finishing second in the batting race behind Jose Reyes of the Mets.
First innings not as much a problem for Kennedy as they have been for Gallardo. 3.55 ERA in the first for Kennedy compared to his 2.88 overall for the season. But these are the 2 guys, Braun and Fielder, who's on deck, that did the damage on him in game 1. They went 5 for 8 with a homer and a double. Everybody else in the lineup went 3 for 19. So whatever he was doing or trying to do with Braun and Fielder, he's got to change.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Braun lines one left to base hit. Parr over to cut it off. Braun will turn and stop at first. It's a 2-out base hit. And it keeps the inning alive for Prince Fielder. And on the heels of what you just finished saying, going back to game one of the two key issues, aside from that pitch that he threw to Prince Fielder, that pitch, not a bad pitch up and in, but Kennedy had a couple of instances where he had 2 outs and could not finish off that inning, and it extended the inning. Braun had a double down the right field line that kept one inning alive, and then of course the same went in the 7th when Fielder hit that home run.
Good piece of hitting there by Ryan Braun, kind of fighting that ball off, but hit it hard.
That pitch caught the inside corner for a strike. Prince 5 for 15 with a couple of doubles, a home run, 3 runs batted in this series. All-Star Game MVP this year at .299 with 38 bombs, 120 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch fouled off to the left.
If you remember, in game 1 they had a meeting on the mound about whether or not to pitch to him. They threw a pitch and he decided all right, and then he just nailed a breaking ball down and in for a huge home run. 2-run shot that made it 4-0 at that point.
And that was preceded by that broad double down the right field line with 2 outs. That 6th inning, it was Bencourt who had that triple. That ball had kind of spun back on Parra, and he eventually scored with 2 outs. And that was the Brewers' 2nd run in that game. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, down goes Fielder. There is the first strikeout for Ian Kennedy. 1 complete, and we're scoreless. Foster's. Tonight we're talking about slugging percentage, and for those unfamiliar with slugging percentage, it refers to total bases divided by total at-bats. 2011 postseason leaders.
3 of the top 3 guys in the postseason so far in this series, and Chris Young and Paul Goldschmidt will be up this inning.
Goldschmidt to lead things off here in the 2nd with no score. Gallardo with a couple of strikeouts and a walk in the 1st. To face Goldschmidt, Young, and Roberts. 5, 6, and 7 for Arizona. First pitch swinging, it's pulled toward the hole, backhanded by Betancourt, who has a strong arm, and Goldschmidt retired for the first down.
There was a first pitch fastball strike, and Goldschmidt wasn't going to wait around for anything else. Hit it hard. And this Milwaukee infield, it's much maligned because of the number of errors that they've all made. There's a nice play turned in by the shortstop.
Now Brewers with 111 errors this year. Betancourt committing 21 of them. Hairston in the starting lineup, 11 weeks with 13, and Fielder with 15 as Chris Young settles in. Brewers overshift, 3 infielders on the left side. And Young takes a strike.
And you just don't see this type of shift very often. It's usually on a left-handed guy, but when you see a 3-man shift on the left side for a right-handed hitter.
Young quietly having a fantastic division series, as he has the count evened up on him at 1-1. 429, 6 for 14, a double, 3 home runs, 4 runs batted in at the multi-homer game a couple of nights ago. Takes a strike, and it's 1-2.
He's also stolen a base. An all-around good player who, when he can cut down on his strikeouts, is outstanding.
With 20 home runs this year, drove in 71. Behind in the count is 1-2. It's a called strike 3, and there is out number 2. And again, going back to your conversation with Don Bill and what we pointed out in game 1 with Gallardo picking up the 9 strikeouts, 6 looking. He's got 3 punch-outs already, 2 of them looking.
Yeah, and that's exactly what was Don's biggest fear, was taking too many fastballs. Goldschmidt didn't. He was up there hacking at the first one. But Chris Young, who's a real good fastball hitter, couldn't pull the trigger on that one. And all of a sudden, Gallardo, after the strikeout of Montero in the first, looks like he's back on the beam again, commanding both sides.
Here's Ryan Roberts, a third baseman. There's a 1-ball, no strike count. Roberts with a double, a home run, and 6 runs batted in this division series, hitting .375. 31 years of age. Pulls this one toward the hole. Betancourt knocks it down, but it trickles into the outfield grass, and Roberts will reach on a 2-out base hit.
Well, what a good series Ryan Roberts has had. His 7th hit in this, the 5th game, and his first at bat, just out of the reach of Betancourt. You know, Kirk Gibson, when we asked him about playing for an early run in this series, Victor, he said, well, if it presents itself. It's not really what they try to do, but with 2 outs here in the bottom of the order up, might see Roberts put in motion.
Especially considering the series that Parra has had. 0 for 15. Takes that pitch down and away. 6 strikeouts for Parra. Venezuelan native who hit .292 this year for the Diamondbacks. 8 home runs and 46 runs batted in.
And 0 for 22 dating back into the postseason, or excuse me, to the regular season.
Here's the 1-0. Missing away, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Parra has been out of his comfort zone, reaching for pitches, expanding his own strike zone throughout the first 4 games. Lucroy thought it was a strike.
I want to get a shot of Ryan Braun. He's got his shades and he's got him sitting up on top of his cap, but you see him here trying to shield the sun, because if he's got his sunglasses on, it's extremely hard to see home plate and see the ball off the bat. So the sunglasses don't do you a whole lot of good.
There's a strike, 3-1.
He's getting some instructions from the bench that they want him to back up just a little bit, make sure nothing's hit over his head. And I think just basically play it safe here with 2 out and Parra up there.
And it's really Braun that is affected right now by that sun coming through the glass. 3-1 pitch, a swing and a miss. Full count. Fielder will move behind Roberts at first base. There's the glass along that first base line. above the upper deck.
So loud here that Prince Fielder was 15 feet away from Gallardo to tell him he was going to play behind the runner, and Gallardo couldn't hear him.
Full count, 2 outs. Roberts will be taking off. Kennedy on deck. Here's a 3-2. Lifted foul and out of play.
And went back to the fastball. One of the problems for Parr that I have seen in this series so far, Victor, is that he's just trying to pull everything, snap pull everything. And they're just working him over middle of the plate away. Six strikeouts in those 15 at-bats.
Another 3-2, and he walked him. Second walk issued by Gallardo, staying away from Parr again. So 2 on with 2 outs, and Ian Kennedy, the pitcher, coming up.
There's a strong sense on both sides that that runs are going to be hard to come by today. So perhaps in the thought process there of Gallardo, even with a guy that's 0 for 15 in this series, is that I got the pitcher on deck at the very worst. If I walk him, hopefully I can get the pitcher out and get out of the inning.
Kennedy showing bunt, trying to bunt for a base hit with Hairston playing back. Bunts it foul, and it's 0-1. Not a bad idea.
Would have been a great play if he could have dropped it down and brought his leadoff man up there.
Four runs batted in for Kennedy on the season, 3 doubles at 131. Hairston moves in a couple of steps at third base. 0-1. Breaking pitch, down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. A different Yovani Gallardo than what we saw in game 1, without question. And this is just an inning and 2/3 into it. Saw adrenaline. We saw a lot of fastballs. Great command. Swing and a miss. Running that one up there, 94.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with his velocity. I just think the pressure of the moment, the importance of this one game, weighs heavy on everybody.
Roberts standing at second. It's Parr in first. 2 outs with no score. Kennedy takes that pitch outside to even the count. Kennedy fouls it off to the right. Another good fastball from Gallardo.
Coming into this game, the last 5 games that Yovani Gallardo has pitched right-handed batters, and it includes game 1, were just 8 for 65 with 26 strikeouts. You see the average.
Two. Foul back. 20th pitch of the inning for Gallardo, who threw 22 in the first. As we pointed out, talking about the bullpens in the open, everyone's available.
Yeah.
Including Zach Greinke, who's had relief experience with the Kansas City Royals. Missing upstairs, a full count.
Even Randy Wolf, who I talked to before the ballgame, said that they need another lefty out of the bullpen. He's ready to go. He started game 4.
So Roberts and Parra will be off with the pitch. Here's a 3-2. Kennedy lines one toward left field. Braun coming in and towards his left. Makes the basket catch. And the inning comes to an end. No runs, one hit, two left on for Arizona as we head to the bottom of the second with no score.
What could be his final game in a Brewers uniform. About 20 minutes before the game, Prince was one of the first players out in the dugout, leaning over the top step, really taking it all in, the atmosphere here at Miller Park. He later sat at the end of the bench by himself, and his teammates came over one by one, fist pumping him. What do you think he's feeling right now?
A lot of nerves, I'm sure, and the focus being on this game and letting all that other stuff kind of take care of itself once he gets to the offseason, whether it's tomorrow or in a couple of weeks.
I got to think, too, I agree with that, Victor, to a certain extent, that as a player, you block out that stuff when the game starts. But it's pretty obvious before the game, maybe a little melancholy sitting there, checking it all out.
Saw it a little bit last night. The Yankees-Tigers deciding Game 5 with Jorge Posada after the game. The talk, of course, will be occurring as well in Philadelphia tonight, as Ricky Weeks shoots that first pitch out toward right field, and Justin Upton is there to make the catch. And I mentioned that game later tonight because of Albert Pujols, the potential it being his last game as a St. Louis Cardinal.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
Really is. A lot of thought going into some of these players and where they might wind up, especially with so much riding on each of these games. All that can take care of itself after the fact, but would be a big spotlight on all those guys, certainly.
All those guys drafted, developed by their respective organizations. And there's no question that this city has gravitated to the two guys in the middle of the lineup at Braun and Fielder, having come up through the system. As Hairston looks at a strike for Ian Kennedy, and it is 0-1.
Big game tonight following this game on TBS. Pujols having a great series. Ryan Howard still trying to get on track.
Hairston fouls it off to the right. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Don't figure a lot of runs to be scored in that game either.
Chris Carpenter against Roy Halladay. Jerry 6 for 13 in this division series with a couple of runs batted in. 270 this year between Washington and Milwaukee.
Time called. He stepped out. Ian Kennedy never broke his hands. He stayed right in that pose.
Good location in on the hands. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes.
Now, going back to something you mentioned a minute ago, Victor, with respect to game 1, going to the bottom of the 7th, it could have very easily have been a 1-0 game at that point. There was the triple by Betancourt that was misplayed a little bit by Parra, and then the bloop single by Lucroy that got him in. That was all with 2 out. Were it not for that, it would have been a 1-zip game, and he pitched a good ball game. He made really a couple of mistakes. The one to Betancourt with a fastball up and away, and then the breaking ball out over the plate and down to fielder.
Hairston strikes out swinging for out number 2. Riding that fastball up and away from Hairston. Second punch out for Kennedy.
And his fastball's good enough to do that. And like I told you at the beginning of the broadcast, he'll pitch up in the zone. Not shy about going up above hitters' hands and trying to get them to chase.
Kennedy racking up 198 strikeouts this year, 222 innings of work. Faces Betancourt, the shortstop here with 2 outs and nobody on. The first pitch outside. Betancourt 4 for 14 in this series. The double and that triple we were just talking about. Came over to Milwaukee with Zach Greinke of the Kansas City Royals.
Born in the same town in Cuba as Livan Hernandez. Santa Clara.
He's ahead of the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Betancourt's one of those hitters that you can get him to expand his own strike zone, especially with off-speed stuff, just like that.
Good example right there. Likes fastballs up and away, similar to the one that just struck Hairston out.
Montero asking for time. Kennedy was on a roll in that second half of the season. 12-1 record with a 2.11 ERA. Collecting 10 road wins out of his 21 victories on the year. This one's pulled over to third. Roberts has it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ian Kennedy. 2 complete. We're still scoreless. Is brought to you in HD by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Top of the third, scoreless at Miller Park. Game 5 of this division series. Yvonne Gallardo with 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 hit allowed to face the top of the order. Bloomquist, Hill, and Upton. No balls to a strike on Bloomquist as he chased that off-speed pitch. He's 0 for 1, grounding out to Betancourt, the shortstop, to start the game.
A lot of pitches already for Gallardo. He's gone to 4 3-ball counts. He only went to 5 3-ball counts in 8 innings in game 1.
This is inside with that fastball. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a Brewers team that went 57-24 here at home. And Gallardo was exceptional on this mound. Bloomquist swings and misses, and it's 1-2. Giovanni Gallardo with a 10-2 mark and an even 3 earned for an average here at Miller Park this year. 7-8 and a 4.05 ERA out on the road. And just a brief taste of postseason experience. It came in 08. They were defeated by the Philadelphia Phillies. It's the year that Gallardo had that ACL taken care of. Came back and pitched in that series. The 2-2 pitch. Bloomquist bouncer back to the mound. Knocked down by Gallardo. 1 out.
A lot of breaking balls to Bloomquist there too. One of the things that can get Gallardo in trouble is his desire for strikeouts, and granted he strikes out a ton of guys. 3rd straight year with over 200 strikeouts, 207 and 207 innings pitched. But that oftentimes drives up his pitch count too when he gets too greedy for the strikeouts.
Has Aaron Hill at the plate with 1 out, nobody on. First pitch is in for a strike.
Last 3 games of regular season and game 1 of the division series. He's racking them up. And only 4 walks over that stretch too. 4 walks and 45 strikeouts.
He struck out Hill in the first inning, so Aaron's 0 for 1. Fouled off the foot. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. In fact, he went with an off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, a real slow curveball, and it looked like Hill waited back on it pretty good, but hit it off his foot.
The 1-2 checked his swing. They asked for help. He did not go, says James Hoy.
Well, that was mighty close. Got the benefit of the doubt there from James Hoy.
This one lifted in the air toward right field. Corey Hart makes the catch. 2 outs. Brings up Justin Upton, who drew a walk in the first inning with 2 outs and eventually stranded in scoring position. Fairly quiet in this series after putting up 31 home runs and driving in 88 during the regular season, surpassing his previous career highs, both set in 2009. Takes a strike. Arizona record-wise has played not poorly on the road, actually pretty well. 43-38 record during the regular season. That pitch is on the corner for strike 2.
That 94 on the outside corner is pretty effective, especially when they give up on it and the ball comes back.
The ball and 2 strikes.
Here's the last out of the last inning. We'd set up that Sun out there in left field, and the problem Braun was having, and he wound up making a basket catch, just trying to track the baseball. He was willing to catch that ball any way he could, fighting the Sun, and not seeing the ball off the bat too well. The shadow has moved on behind him now, and he should be able to see it off the bat a lot better.
Was it Darryl Thomas of the Dodgers? Used to make those basket catches?
Could have been.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Here's the 2-2. Well, not only did Gallardo think he had it, Betancourt, Harrison, Braun, Morgan, and Hart all taking a couple of steps towards the dugout.
Let's twice. Gallardo has taken a step there. And apparently a little high.
This one out toward right field, hit well. Corey Hart going back, still going back, pulls up and gone. Justin Upton goes big fly the opposite way, and the Diamondbacks strike first. They lead it 1-0.
That's the 10th home run hit by the D-backs in this series, and the 5th one hit here, the 2nd by Upton. And it was on yet another 3-ball count, a full count, after Gallardo thought he had Upton struck out. Justin goes the other way and hits it in the bullpen, a line shot.
Montero swinging first pitch, comes up empty. Yvonne Upton, his mom. She's liking it. Little thank you, too. Strike on the outside corner. And it's an 0-2 count. That home run quieting this crowd.
And it was to a part of the ballpark. There's a little bit of a short porch in right field, straightaway right. And then it drops back toward the bullpen. Is carried over the back wall. Well, what I should say is the wall that drops back. There's that indentation. And he hit it right over that jet.
Good piece of hitting. Not trying to pull it. Montero struck out looking to end the first. That pitch bounced out in front of the plate. That got Lucroy. He's taken a beating so far in this game.
First inning, he took one in the shoulder and then up in just about exactly the same place, up under the mask. They've gotten him in the jaw, too. Proud Don Baylor.
2-2 pitch. Montero fouls it off the left. Count remains even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's always interesting to me and fun to watch how after a guy does something like Upton just did, how they seek out the hitting coach and go over and really start talking it up.
And then when they mess up and the hitting coach goes after them in the dugout, they try to hide.
Yeah, you can't find them.
No. Another 2-2. Montero swing and a miss. The inning comes to an end as Gallardo picks up his 4th strikeout, but the Diamondbacks strike first. They lead it 1-0. Diamondbacks with a 1-0 lead. Justin Upton going oppo. Solo home run. With 2 outs in the top of the inning to give the Diamondbacks a lead. And here the third, it'll be 8-9-1 for Milwaukee. Lucroy, Gallardo, and then Corey Hart. Ian Kennedy so far, 2 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed. He retired the side in order in the second.
First lead the Diamondbacks have had in this park.
Jonathan Lucroy 3 for 11 in this series with a couple of runs batted in. Kennedy's first pitch is a called strike. Lucroy hit .265 during the regular season, 12 home runs and 59 runs batted in. Gets jammed, rolls it foul, may have broken his bat. That's 0-2.
Ian Kennedy again, a 21-game winner with an ERA under 3 for the year. He's got the lead, and nothing better than a shutdown inning after you're given the lead. He's got the bottom part of the order, although that's not typical either for every team because Gallardo's such a good hitter.
Kennedy ahead of the count at no balls, 2 strikes. One and 2 now. He's got some good movement on his pitches today. We've already seen a couple of broken bats.
And not that he looked nervous in game 1, but he seems real calm and collected today compared to that game.
Two and 2. Former first-round pick out of USC back in 2006 of the New York Yankees. There's Charles Nagy on the right, Matt Williams on the left. The 2-2 pitch. Lucroy, a swing and a miss. There's out number 1. Moments ago, we had a chance to speak with Diamondbacks manager Kirk Gibson. Hey, Kirk, you got to like the approach that Upton had there with 2 outs and a full count going the opposite way, driving one out of the ballpark.
Well, he's capable of doing that, and, you know, he's stayed off some nasty pitches. We've got his pitch count up a little bit, and not many guys can hit a line drive out the other way, but Jay Up, that's one of his strengths, and he's done that for us all year.
Kirk, Ian Kennedy pitched a good ball game here in game 1 and came up on the short side of it. How do you like him so far today?
It's good. It's an exciting game. It's going to be a tight game. We know that. The crowd's into it. Both pitchers are, you know, throwing kind of max out. And it's going to be just settle in, I guess, one of these days or games. And I hope that we just continue to play a clean game.
Our thanks to Kirk Gibson for joining us. A 1-ball, 1-strike count on Gallardo with 1 out, nobody on. Hit .221 this year with a home run and 4 runs batted in as he fouls this one off to the right. It's 1 and 2.
He went to a 2-2 count on Lucroy and struck him out, and it brings me to something that's really impressive about Ian Kennedy. Over his last 14 starts in the first 3 innings of this ball game, he has not issued a leadoff walk to any hitter in any inning.
Missed off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That'll cut into some big innings when you're putting guys on base early.
Breaking pitch. Got him looking on the inside corner. 2 outs. Back-to-back punch outs for Ian Kennedy. Let's go to Atlanta in our studios at Matt Weiner. Thanks a lot, Matt. Corey Hart swings through the first pitch, and it's 0-1 on the big right fielder.
You talk about the importance of good starting pitching, especially in an elimination game, a game 5. Those 2 guys are liable to go 10, 11, 12 innings.
Hart lifts one out toward left field. Gerardo Parra is under it. And Kennedy for the second straight inning has retired the side in order. 3 complete. Diamondbacks lead at 1-0. fourth here, fifth and deciding game this National League Division Series. Here's the look at the two starters today, Joe.
66 pitches for Gallardo through 3 innings. That's a ton for him. And he'll need to have a couple of quick innings, kind of smooth it out a little bit. Ian Kennedy, so far so good. He's been outstanding.
Paul Goldschmidt takes down low. That's 1 ball, no strikes. Arizona Diamondback first baseman. Grounded out to Betancourt in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. Off speed pitch is a strike. It's 1-1. 5 for 12 now. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in this series. Did not play in game 1. Lyle Overbay instead got the start at first base, but he's been in there since last Sunday. He certainly has provided a spark. Over 8th round pick out of Texas State, 2009. Never played a game at AAA. As he shoots this one to right field, it's a base hit. Leadoff man is on board for the Diamondbacks.
He's been so impressive hitting the ball the other way. Continues to do that.
Moments ago, we had a chance to speak with Brewers skipper Ron Renicky. Hey, Ron, what have you seen differently today from Yovani Gallardo than we saw in game 1?
Well, I think he's throwing the ball great. Fastball's explosive. He's hitting spots with it. Curveball, maybe not as many strikes, but the cutter's been real good. Cutter, slider, and he left one of the balls up a little bit there to Upton, but he's throwing the ball good.
Ron, you knew this was going to be a tight ball game, and with both pitchers on their game so far, what are your hitters trying to do with Kennedy to try to get some guys on base, get something going?
Well, I think Kennedy's spotting his ball well again, like he usually does. We've hit a couple balls hard, right at people, but we got to stay after it and try to get some people on base and somebody come through with a big hit for us.
Our thanks to the manager, Ron Renicky. Chris Young rolling into a fielder's choice. Goldschmidt going in hard on Ricky Weeks at second.
Yeah, slid a little late over the top of the bag, and Ricky was not going to make that throw to begin with and had to do a little tap dancing to get out of the way.
Still not at 100% after rolling that ankle. Missing a considerable amount of time. So 1 out and 1 on for Ryan Roberts. And you also want to get out of the way of Paul Goldschmidt.
6'4", 240. I'd want to get out of the way too. But a late slide like that, some second baseman might drop down and do a little submarine throw the next time.
It doesn't happen too often now, does it? Unless you're a veteran guy.
There are some old guys around that know just exactly how to do it.
Roberts is ahead of the count at 1 ball, no strikes. He had a base hit in the second inning, so he's 1 for 1. Gallardo through the first 3 innings. 22 pitches in the first, 22 pitches in the second, 21 in the third. Like Kirk Gibson said, making him throw a lot of pitches, a lot of deep counts, as Roberts fouls this one back and out of play. Evens a count at a ball and a strike.
.123 is his high on the pitch count for the year. That was back in July. He's got a couple that have been over 120. His last start of the year against Florida, 112, but he's at 73.
There's the 1-1 pitch. Roberts hits one out toward right center field. Hart calls off Morgan. The right fielder makes a catch, 2 outs.
I think some of this pitch count problem too, Victor, is just what Ron Renicky was talking about, having a little bit of command trouble with his curveball, bouncing all those pitches up there that has put Lucroy under the gun a couple of times. Hasn't been able to use that breaking ball as a put-away pitch, and it's extended some at-bats for guys.
Here's Gerardo Parra, who drew a walk in the second. Quick check in of Chris Young over at first. Young with 22 stolen bases, was caught 9 times this year. Pretty good lead for Young at first. As Parra takes the pitch upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Miguel Montero said about getting his first hit in the postseason in Arizona. He said you get that first one and then the rest of them seem to come a little easier. Well, that first one's come awful hard for Parra.
Swings through that one. Evens a count on a ball and a strike.
And again, trying real hard to pull. Parra's a solid player. Hit .292 for them in the regular season and a good outfielder. But can't get going here.
It happens sometimes. You struggle, especially at the very end there, and it kind of carries over into the postseason. It manifests itself.
Prince Fielder back in 08 had 1 hit in that division series against the Phillies, and it was a homer. Took him a while to get it.
Young takes off. The pitch is a strike. So the count even at 2-2 as Parra has some words for Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire. And Young picks up a stolen base.
Taking a look all the way in case the ball was put in play. I'm not sure that Lucroy was able to get that ball out of his glove cleanly. Didn't have a very good grip.
So man in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 4th. The Diamondbacks up 1-0. Courtesy of the Upton home run in the 3rd inning. The 2-2 pitch. Parra strikes out, swinging. The inning comes to an end. 5th strikeout of the game for Gallardo. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Arizona still on top. Go to ChevyBaseball.com and upload a picture of your favorite youth ball player. You could win hundreds of MLB prizes as part of Chevrolet's Centennial Celebration, even tickets to this year's postseason. Diamondbacks leading at 1-0, courtesy of a Justin Upton home run. A solo shot the opposite way. It came in the 3rd inning. And here the 4th for Milwaukee. Morgan, Braun, and Fielder 2, 3, and 4.
And with Morgan leading it off, rightfully so, Ryan Roberts has to come in on the grass in case Morgan tries to bunt. And when he does put down a bunt, he likes to go that way. He likes to push it to 3rd. They're trying to take that away from him.
Morgan popped out to Bloomquist in the 1st inning, so he's 0 for 1. Making 1 for 12 in the series. This one hit well out toward right center field. Upton can't get it. It's over his head and to the wall. Morgan will stop at second with a leadoff double.
That beast mode will get this crowd going. Breaking ball down. He went down and got it. Smoked it.
First hit for Milwaukee. It's the 2-out base hit by Braun in the 1st inning. As Braun steps in. 1 for 1 with that base knock in the 1st.
He drove in 111 runs.
Takes a breaking pitch for a strike.
Nice curveball there to start him. But as one of the top RBI guys in the league and down a run, let's see what his approach is here. If he's trying to just get that run in and tie it up, or get him over to 3rd for Fielder.
The 0-1 pitch downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. We go back to 2 games ago. Game 4 in Arizona. The Milwaukee Brewers 6 times in that game had their leadoff man on. And even though they scored 6 runs, situational hitting certainly did not come up for Milwaukee. They were 1 for 13 with men in scoring position in Wednesday's game. The 1-1, nope, the spin move. Morgan jockeying around at second base. Kennedy checking in on him.
They did a great job here at Miller Park. Brewers were 7 for 15 total in those 2 games, but a different story at Chase Field.
In the dirt, and it gets away. Morgan advances to 3rd.
That bounced about 1.5 feet in front of home plate. Montero got in front of it, but it went off his chest protector. He couldn't keep it in front. Golden opportunity here to at least tie the game.
Diamondbacks will take the out. Infield back. 2 balls and a strike on Braun. The pitch up and in. Almost got him. It's 3-1.
Scouting report on Ryan Braun is you have to crowd him. You got to keep him moving his feet, moving back. There was some chin music. We'll see if that pays some dividends later.
It's the first 3-ball count Kennedy has had in this game. He's picked up 4 strikeouts, 3 swinging, 1 looking. Nyjer Morgan with a leadoff double here in the 4th inning, advancing to 3rd on the wild pitch. He walked him. First base on balls issued by Kennedy. And Milwaukee with runners at the corners. With nobody out, and Prince Fielder coming up. Willie Bloomquist and Aaron Hill having an extended conversation near the bag at second base. Bloomquist shading fielder toward the middle. First pitch swinging, fouls it back. Good pitch by Kennedy in on the hands.
We saw in Arizona how good Prince Fielder is at getting up on some fastballs, high fastballs. And again, that's where Kennedy likes to go sometimes for strikes and especially for strikeouts. But they need a ground ball here. They'd be happy to concede the run for a chance at a double play. And to get the ground ball, you may need to throw him a breaking ball, which is what he hit out off Kennedy in game 1.
Fielder pops this one up, shallow left field. Bloomquist is going out, calls off Parra. 1 out, a big out as Bloomquist gets the baseball back into the infield.
What a good pitch. He went after a high fastball on the first pitch. Here's another one, but he can't get his arms extended. Watch him pull his hands in here to try to get the barrel to the bat, or excuse me, to the ball. Barrel of the bat dips, and he's under it.
Meeting of the minds on the mound now, the entire infield. Talking strategy with Weeks at the plate. You got to be cognizant of Braun at some point taking off.
Well, he's made one good pitch already in this jam. And remember that Weeks, not the speed that he had before the ankle injury. But he hit the ball hard his first time up today. Line 1 to right. Good fastball hitter. And he'll be aggressive on the first one if it's something he can handle.
Weeks missing 39 games due to that severely sprained ankle. Named to the All-Star team this year. 0 for 1 today, a fly ball to right field. 1 for 16 in the series. He's got Morgan at third and Braun at first with 1 out. Come inside and they hit him. Weeks is not happy about it.
He got hit by Kennedy in game 1. And it came with runners on base too. So not only is it the second time he's been plunked, and this one in the ribs, but he wants to hit and drive in a run.
So it's up to Hairston, who steps up with the bases loaded. Hairston has been big for the Brewers in this series. He struck out in the second inning.
And in this situation, he is an early in the count guy. First strike he sees, he'll be aggressive, especially if it's a fastball up.
Hairston trying to pick up Prince Fielder, who popped up for the first out here in the 4th. Kennedy's first pitch missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. .313 average in his career with the bases loaded. Nyjer Morgan at third base, Ryan Braun at second, and Weeks at first. Kennedy falls behind. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, now with the bases loaded, you just wonder about the pitch that he almost hit Braun with, the pitch that he did hit Weeks with. He might be a little concerned about trying to pitch inside here to Hairston for fear of hitting him and forcing in a run.
Because theoretically, Weeks is the guy you wanted at that plate in that situation. Potential double play ball.
Right, because of his bad ankle. Hairston's tough to double up.
Goldschmidt off the bag at first and near the cut of the grass. The rest of the infielder straight up. Here's the 2-0. Hairston breaks his bat, pulls it foul. The barrel of the bat almost gets Nyjer Morgan down the third base line.
Tony Plush had to dance out of the way of that one. Tony Plush, the T-Plush, the alter ego of Nyjer Morgan.
who's been playing off Broadway for the better part of this division series, but a leadoff double.
Yes.
Kind of firing up this crowd. He's standing at third. Braun with a walk. Weeks with a hit by pitch. That's what Kennedy is facing now, with a pretty good hitter's count at 2 balls and a strike. Down low, nice dig by Montero.
That was a changeup, and he was trying to make sure he didn't make a mistake with it, and almost threw it to the backstop. I like the pitch selection, but he was just real concerned about leaving it out over the plate. Jerry Harrison's going to have a very small strike zone here, looking for something in a zone where he wants it.
Harrison lifts one in the air. Shallow right field. Hill going out. Upton coming in. Hill makes the catch. Morgan tags. He's coming home. The throw to the plate, not in time. This game is tied at 1.
Made a good pitch, and it still cost him a run. Good base running by Niger Morgan, and a long way to go for Hill. There's no way he could throw back and make that close, and with everybody chasing the baseball, there's nobody to cover second or third, so the other 2 runners moved up as well.
Harrison picks up his 3rd RBI of the division series
on about a 130-foot sacrifice fly.
Here's Betancourt. Runners at second and third and 2 outs. Chopper up the line. Roberts has it across the diamond. The inning comes to an end. Nice job by Kennedy to limit the damage, but he does give up the lead. Brewers tied up through 4. We're knotted up at 1. The 5th inning. First 2 games combined, over 88,000 fans packing the house. Diamondbacks did a terrific job themselves at filling that ballpark up. And just as we expected,
A tight ball game. Giovanni Gallardo delivers outside to Ian Kennedy. That's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, let's see if that run his teammates just got him will get Gallardo pumped up and have a little bit of a easier inning. He's had to work extremely hard in the first 4.
Has not recorded a 1-2-3 inning. Deep counts. Has run the pitch count up a little bit on him. Kennedy hit a fly ball to left field. His first time up. Bounces this one up the middle. And Kennedy is on board with a leadoff base hit. Let's go back to the sacrifice fly off the bat of Jerry Hairston. Really, Aaron Hill was the closest to that baseball.
Yeah, if Upton is able to get there, he's got the better angle. He can use his momentum to help fire one to the plate, maybe keep Morgan from even thinking about scoring. But with Hill catching this ball running away from home plate, just took too many steps to stop and throw back. And watch him from that angle too. Pretty obvious Morgan didn't leave early.
Nice job by Hill too to even make it even a possibility of getting him out as Gallardo delivers a breaking pitch for a strike. Didn't think he had a chance at all. I thought he was going to throw the ball in the middle part of the infield. Willie Bloomquist is 0 for 2. Ground ball to short and a bouncer back to the mound. Count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Diamondbacks with a run on 4 hits, no errors. They've stranded 4 guys on base. The Brewers with a run, 2 hits, no errors. They have left 4 on base. Winner of this one will take on the winner of the next game, Cardinals and Phillies, Citizens Bank Park. Bloomquist chopping one to short. Betancourt feeds Weeks for 1. Ridley to first in time, a double play. Let's go down to Sam Ryan.
Yeah, and Victor, Giovanni Gallardo said having that game 1 start under his belt really helps in this situation. He said you really still have to have a game plan and execute those pitches out there. And even though he came out of the bullpen in 08 in that playoff series, he said this is the biggest game of his career. Certainly is.
And Sam Wright, you're right about something. He also said watching some video, he wanted to see what adjustments guys were making on him even during game 1 that might help him today.
As Hill steps to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on, takes ball 1. And it looked like he was pitching early on as if the Diamondbacks were going to change their approach against him.
Yeah, instead of making them or
forcing them
to change.
Yeah.
Until they proved to him that they were going to handle his fastball. 6 career starts, including game 1. He's never lost to him, and a microscopic ERA.
Two balls and a strike on Aaron Hill, who's 0 for 2 in this one with a strikeout and a fly ball to right field. Another fastball taken for a strike. 2-2.
And more Gallardo-like. Just a little surprised to see Hill lay off that fastball when he had a good hitter's count.
Full count now. Upton in the on-deck circle. The 6th time in this game Gallardo has had a 3-ball count. He has struck out 5 and walked 2. Three-two pitch. Hill lifts one in the air toward left field, chasing Braun back, still drifting back as he steps onto the warning track, puts it away, and the inning comes to an end. We head to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1. By Liberty Mutual Insurance. Game 5 in Philadelphia. Chris Carpenter going up against Roy Halladay.
And I'm serious. 4 complete games for Carpenter, 8 for Halladay. There's no telling how many innings those guys might pitch if it's a close ball game, or tied through 9 innings, and there's a good chance that could happen. And talk about a ballpark that'll be rocking. Citizens Bank Park will be wild tonight. What a postseason for divisional play so far, huh?
No question. 3 Game 5s. A nail biter last night. The Tigers advancing to the American League Championship Series against the Texas Rangers. Jonathan Lucroy takes a strike. ALCS kicks off Saturday down in Texas. C.J. Wilson against Justin Verlander.
Yeah, congratulations Ron Washington and Jim Leland and their clubs.
Lucroy shoots one out to right field. Upton breaking to his right is there, makes the catch for the first out. Lucroy 0 for 2. He had struck out back in the 3rd. So with 1 out, nobody on, here's the pitcher, Giovanni Gallardo. And here in this one, you've got some different scenarios to play out. Whoever wins here, we're having to wait to see what happens at that game in Philadelphia. Gallardo swinging first pitch, fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Diamondbacks will, if they win, will hang in the clubhouse, watch the game. Ron Renicky, if they win, is going home to watch the game.
Yeah.
Down 0-2, and they did a heck of a job of battling back. Games 3 and 4 in their home ballpark.
That was San Diego that did it in '84 against the Cubs.
High fastball, got him to chase. It's a no ball, 2-strike count. Milwaukee trying to win its first postseason series since 1982. He defeated the California Angels to advance to the World Series.
And they did that by coming from an 0-2 deficit and winning 3 games here against the Angels.
I was here for all 3.
Sorry, Victor.
Unfortunately. Lovely County Stadium. One, 2. Missed.
Boy.
2 balls, 2 strikes. They didn't miss by much.
Well, couldn't hit it. Apparently couldn't call it. That looked like a pretty good curveball. Big sweeper.
This one bounced over to 3rd. Roberts has it. 2 outs. So back to the top of the order now with Corey Hart coming to the plate. Kennedy's thrown first pitch strikes to 13 of the 17 guys he's faced. And now 14 of 18.
Only been in trouble 1 inning, and he certainly did a good job of minimalizing the damage in the 4th inning.
Hart 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly ball out. Swing and a miss. Took something off.
That's one of his best change-ups of the day right there.
A 1-2 count now on Hart. Fielders not having to worry now about that sun coming through the glass. Panels out in the outfield, as you can see, open. Hart bounces one toward the middle. Bloomquist can't get it. It's a base hit. A 2-out knock for Corey Hart.
Just out of the reach of Ian Kennedy here, and sneaks it up the middle on a high fastball. When you're behind, sometimes you might be a little more conservative, but now that they're tied and with 2 out, you know, you might see the Brewers take a chance here. Send hard. If he gets thrown out, you still have Morgan leading off the next inning.
Morgan led off the 4th with a double. Moved to 3rd on a wild pitch and scored the sac fly by Hairston. 1 for 2 game. Putting him at 2 for 13 in this series. Roberts in on the grass at 3rd base.
Corey Hart has lost a little foot speed. Did steal 7 bases. He was also caught 6 times. And another fact worth mentioning again is how good Montero is behind the plate at throwing out base runners. Over 40% on base stealers this year.
Just off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Hart with a pretty short lead over at first base. Morgan a big swing and a miss. Almost corkscrewed himself into the ground. Two and one.
This is his going for the downswing, no doubt about it. He was spinning around in that 1 foot. Hart does not have a real big lead. Almost like he's trying not to draw attention to himself.
Three balls and a strike with Braun on deck.
You know Ian Kennedy doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want to have to mess with Braun or Fielder this inning. Especially when he thought he might get through it pretty quick. 2 outs, nobody on.
Three-one pitch. Lifted on the first base side into foul territory. Goldschmidt on the warning track near the railing makes the catch. The inning comes to an end. No runs, 1 hit. And the Brewers leave 1 on. We're still tied at 1 after 5.
Justin Upton will lead off here for the Diamondbacks in the 6th inning. He had a no-doubt home run in Game 2 off Zach Greinke. A little different flight pattern on this one here off Gallardo today. It goes the other way on a high fastball and a line shot into the bullpen. For the first run of the ball game, the Brewers have since tied it, but he'll lead off the inning.
Top of the 6th, tied at 1. Upton, Montero, and Goldschmidt against Giovanni Gallardo. And Upton swings first pitch. It's a towering shot out toward right center field. Andrew Morgan is under it, 1 away. Very quick out for Gallardo. TBS October 18th. Attention sports geeks. TBS just got a whole lot smarter. Don't miss The Big Bang Theory. All new to TBS Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night starting October 18th.
Kind of a Big Bang Theory in this series. 14 home runs in all, 10 by Arizona.
Brewers first in the National League in home runs with 185. The Diamondbacks 172, fourth during the regular season. Montero twice has struck out against Gallardo. Chasing the off-speed pitch, and it's no balls, 2 strikes.
Thanks to the double play, only had to face 3 batters last inning. Got a 1-pitch out here to start the 6th, helping preserve some of his pitch count.
A ball on 2 strikes. Watching Gallardo after that last pitch, his reaction, almost talking to himself about getting around the curveball instead of staying on top of it. That's been a struggle for him in this game. The 1-2. Montero lifts one out toward left field. Braun going back on it. Steps onto the track. 2 outs.
Here's what's taken place in this series. Games 1 and 2 were in Miller Park, and the Brewers 13 runs, 21 hits, did a great job with men on base. Diamondbacks at their home park, they held serve.
And just what we expected here today, a tight ball game.
Yep. Yeah, the lowest scoring game of the series was Game 1 when these 2 pitchers hooked up.
So 2 outs and nobody on for Paul Goldschmidt, the first baseman. He takes a fastball up and in.
How about that? A little reminder that he doesn't like that when his star hitter gets brushed back. Ryan Braun had one right up under his chin in the 4th inning.
Goldschmidt 1 for 2 at a base hit in the 4th. It's the breaking ball for a strike.
Remember, Goldschmidt's the guy that went in hard, slid late at second base to get after Weeks earlier in the game 2 to try to break up a double play.
Trying to come back inside. It missed in off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Gallardo on the verge of throwing his 100th pitch of this game. This one line to center field. Morgan down his track. Now comes in. The ball drops in front of him. That's one of the tougher plays for any outfielder. Joe, you would know it. As a former big league outfielder, that line shot right at you, and especially with a big man at the plate.
And that was a breaking ball, I believe, too, Victor. And this ball had tremendous top spin. Niger read it off the bat, and it looked like it was just going to be a routine line drive out. But this ball had such enormous top spin, it just peeled straight down in front of him, and there's no way he could read that. Frustrating, to be sure, but nothing he can do about it.
Keeps the inning alive for Arizona with 2 outs and a man at first. Goldschmidt with his 2nd hit of the game. Young now at the plate. Fastball outside. Wants a new baseball. Chris Young, a strikeout victim in the 2nd. Reached on a fielder's choice in the fourth. Stole the base.
That ball that Goldschmidt hit, he already swings with a little bit of an uppercut, Victor. So when he catches the upper half of the baseball with that uppercut, it imparts tremendous spin.
Two balls and no strikes.
Here's that hack again, and it was a breaking ball. Came right up over the top of that ball like if you had a tennis racket. Good looking player, isn't he?
Strong as an ox. Quick throw to first. Goldschmidt diving back in.
He even swiped a base in Arizona.
Two balls and no strikes on Chris Young. The 2-0. Young chasing the high fastball. Comes up empty. 2-1.
High fastball, top of the zone. Got it right by him. Chris Young, pretty good fastball hitter. Couldn't get on top of that one. He's done a good job. Chris Young has in this series of shortening everything up and just letting his hands work. Helped him when he hit the 2 homers in Game 4.
2-1. He swings through that one. 2-2.
That looked like the slider. He hasn't thrown many sliders today, but that was a good one.
This one fouled back.
Not much luck against Gallardo, but there's a lot of guys that have numbers similar to that against Giovanni.
Goldschmidt takes off the 2-2 line into left center field. A base hit. Goldschmidt rounds second. He'll head to third. And Chris Young with a 2-out base hit. The Diamondbacks with runners at first and third with 2 outs, and will give Ryan Roberts an opportunity.
In the postseason, every base runner is a rally. Doesn't matter if you got on by a walk, if you reached on an error, if you hit a topspin lob like Goldschmidt did to reach with 2 outs. Every base runner is a rally, and now all of a sudden it's first and third with 2 out instead of just a runner at first. Good at bat by Chris Young. And some guys walking around, milling around out in the Brewers bullpen. Stretching, trying to get ready in case the phone rings.
Roberts today 1 for 2, had a base hit in the second and flied out to Corey Hart in the 4th inning. Goldschmidt standing at third, Young at first base, and Young with good speed. Roberts thought about offering at him. He did not go.
He accounted for the only run for the Diamondbacks in Game 1 against Gallardo with this long home run, 426-foot homer to center field. Of course, he hit the grand slam in Game 1, or excuse me, Game 4 in the first inning a couple of nights ago that was so huge in getting the momentum back for Arizona.
in the dirt. Wow. Boy, that ball found Lucroy.
Yeah.
And it stayed near the plate. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, let's put it this way. He's had a lot of practice leading up to this one today. And that bounced so far out in the plate that he actually stood up to try to block that and did a great job of corralling it. What a play. If he goes to his knees to block that, it might have bounced over him.
Balls and no strikes.
And you got a guy on deck who doesn't have a hit in the series, and a guy at the plate who's already hit a home run off of you. And maybe trying to figure out a way just to get around him.
3-1. Cameron Lowe, first man up for Ron Renicky.
He just threw that one off the back wall, almost threw it up into the seats.
Just in case the Diamondbacks are checking them out. Keeping them honest.
Oh, mercy. People up on the rail were in danger on that one.
3 balls and a strike with 2 outs, 2 on. The pitch. Roberts fouls it back. Full count.
Came right back after him, though. 2 94-mile-an-hour fastballs. One that he painted on the corner, 3-0. And that one that was fouled off. Again, about letter high. Too much for Roberts to get on top of.
Young will be off with the pitch at first base. Goldschmidt will hang out at third. 3-2. Breaking pitch chopped over to third base. Hairston has it across the diamond. The inning comes to an end. No runs, 2 hits. The Diamondbacks leave 2 on. We get to the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 1. In Milwaukee, temperature right around 80 degrees. The roof closed, the panel down the outfield open. A 1-1 tie. We've been treated to a spectacular game thus far as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. The heart of the order due up for the Brewers. Braun, Fielder, and Weeks against Ian Kennedy. 3 hits allowed by Kennedy. He has struck out 4. He has walked 1. And he has hit a batter. Breaking pitch, line down the left field line. It's headed toward the corner. Braun rounding first. He'll stop at second. It's a leadoff double.
Breaking ball that stayed up enough for him to go down and golf it down the line. He'll do that on pitches down and in. He'll go down and lift him out of the ballpark. This time it's a double. He's on base for the 3rd time, and he continues his great work here in day games at home in a ballpark notoriously tough to see.
2-hit game for Braun. Fielder steps in. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-up.
And Ian Kennedy made one of his best pitches of the day to get Fielder to pop up with runners at first and second in the 4th inning. That was a huge out. But these are the 2 guys that gave Kennedy the problem in game 1. They went 5 for 8. Day games in a ballpark where there's tremendous shadows, hard to see. Ryan Braun, wow, 416 average. Fielder looking for something that he can pull and get him to third or get him in.
Kennedy's first pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Prince struck out to end the 1st inning and popped out to Bloomquist in the 4th. That was with runners at 1st and 3rd. The double by Braun, the 4th hit that Kennedy has allowed. 2nd time of the game he's allowed a leadoff double. The other was to Nigel Morgan in the 4th, and Morgan eventually came around to score.
And the 4th double for Braun in this series to go with his home run.
Two balls and no strikes.
This goes to what we talked about in our opening comments, though, Victor, and that is anybody who can get the lead late in the ball game and turn the game over to their bullpen has a huge advantage, because both sides have good lockdown bullpens, and the Brewers trying to do just that here and take the lead in the 6th.
Kennedy's 2-0. Fielder takes downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes. Ricky Weeks on deck. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. At that point, loaded the bases up. And he walked him. Didn't miss by much on the outside corner with the off speed. And Kennedy has just issued his 2nd walk of the game.
Wasn't going to give in there, though. 3-0 changeup.
That'll get some action going in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
And Ed Cedar, the 3rd base coach, came all the way down to home plate to talk to Ricky Weeks.
Brian Shaw, first man up for the Diamondbacks.
Brewers 2nd in the league in sacrifice bunts. Weeks only had 1.
Showing bunt, pops it up. Kennedy makes the catch. And Kennedy failed to look at first base. Fielder was way off the bag at first. Hill would have been there. And it certainly would have been a bang play at first to get that double play, but Weeks fails in his ability to move the runners to 2nd and 3rd.
Look how much time he had to go to first base, but he was more concerned with that lead runner, as you normally would be. And again, with Ricky Weeks having only put down 1 bunt all year long, has to do it here popped it up. Good play by Kennedy, bouncing off the mound too. That took a little steam out of the crowd.
Hairston had the sacrifice fly in the 4th inning to tie this game up at 1. 0 for 1 game. 6 for 14 in the series. And 3 RBIs. He's got Braun standing at second and Fielder at first. Check swing foul, and it's 0-1.
Here's that bunt again. And it looked like Weeks got the bat out in front okay. He just jabbed at it a little bit, and a good play by Kennedy, racing over to get it.
.74 pitches thrown by Kennedy. A spin move.
This guy Hairston, though, one of the things he's done early in his career, I mean, he did everything at warp speed. He has slowed his game down, if you will, where he's kind of let the game come to him in many ways, and it's made him that much better. And that's one of the reasons he's played every game of this playoff, is that Ron Renicky likes his approach. He's given him some good at bats, and he's had a good series as a result.
Hairston tired of waiting, so backs out at the plate. Picked up in a deal with the Washington Nationals. The .274 in 45 games for the Brewers. 0-1 pitch, yanks this one foul. And it's a no ball, 2-strike count.
Man, oh man, that was almost hit or be hit. That one was running in on him. There's Kennedy's line for the day. Only 75 pitches compared to almost 100 for Gallardo. When Ian Kennedy's needed to make pitches today, especially in that 4th inning, he's made some good ones.
And now Montero wants to go out there, talk things over. Shaw's ready to go if necessary in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Braun led off the 6th inning with a double down the left field line. Fielder drew a walk. And Weeks trying to sacrifice the 2 guys. Popped one up to Kennedy. So 1 out, 2 on. Tied at 1. Bottom of the 6th. The pitch down low.
Got to figure that Hairston's willing to expand his strike zone a little bit here. Not only because he's behind in the count, but because the go-ahead runs at second base. He wants to get that guy in. And threw that changeup in the dirt. He didn't even offer.
Outfield straight around against Hairston. Not very deep. That pitch is down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Great patience. Hairston yanked that fastball that was probably a ball inside. Yanked it foul over the top of the Diamondbacks dugout. And they've come back with changeup since.
Here comes the 2-2. Hairston off the end of the bat, rolls it foul.
Three changeups in a row. You know that Braun can run at second base. Good speed. Had over 30 stolen bases this year. And Prince Fielder might surprise you. He's not fast, but once he gets going, he's not slow. Takes him just a little bit to get going.
Kind of like an out-of-control 18-wheeler downhill.
There you go. You especially got the 18-wheeler part right.
Another 2-2, and Harrison drives one out to center field. Chris Young going back, got turned around, reaches up and makes a spectacular catch. Braun heads back to second. A loud out, but the second out here in the 6th. What a play by Chris Young.
One of the greatest you'll ever see. I hope Willie Mays was watching that one. This ball was low and driven, and Chris Young got turned around at first, but with his great speed ran it down. Tracked it all the way, and the great over-the-shoulder catch. Unbelievable at such a critical time in this game and in this series. I don't blame you, Jerry. You can't hit it any better. What a play.
So 2 outs, 2 on. Braun still at second and Fielder at first. Here's Betancourt, who swung at the first pitch in the 4th inning and grounded out. Takes a strike.
We've been talking this whole series about how good the outfield is for Arizona. Arguably defensively as good as anybody in baseball. And that they've got some pitchers who like to throw high fastballs and let their outfielders run them down. That was just a brilliant play by Chris Young.
And playing shallow with Harrison at the plate. A long way to go. 0-1 pitch. Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Betancourt is 0 for 2. He lined out to Roberts in the 2nd, and then that ground out to Roberts in the 4th. This one looped out towards center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Braun's being waved around. The throw goes to second, and the Brewers are on top 2-1. Yuniesky Betancourt with an RBI single.
The great play saves you, and then you make a mistake to the next guy. Again, we've talked about Betancourt liking the ball up and out over the plate. Fought that one off a little bit, but it was up. A mistake from Kennedy after the great play had seemingly bailed him out. Isn't that something in this inning, Victor? The failed bunt attempt, the great defensive play, and then Betancourt is the guy that comes through at the end.
A 2-out hit against Ian Kennedy. We talked about that in game 1. At 6th and 7th innings, unable to close out that frame. And still work to do here with runners at first and second. Jonathan Lucroy, the batter. Lucroy has struck out and hit a fly ball to right field. First pitch. No balls and a strike.
There might be some Diamondbacks fans who want to know why Chris Young didn't make a throw to the plate. He had no play. With 2 outs, Ryan Braun running on the crack of the bat was going to score easily. And Young made the right play to keep runners at first and second.
No 1 pitch on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Fielder with a big lead at second base. The 0-2 pitch got him swinging. Down goes Lucroy. That will end the inning, but Yuniesky Betancourt puts the Brewers up after that spectacular defensive catch through 6. Milwaukee leads it 2-1. A8. Most home runs in the 2011 postseason. The Diamondbacks with 10. Justin Upton had the 10th one in the third inning. A solo shot that put them up 1-0. But the Brewers have battled back. They tied it in the fourth. Took the lead in the bottom of the sixth.
And here we go to that part of the ball game that we talked about early on, that if you've got the lead, it's going to be tough on whoever's behind. And in this case, it's Takashi Saito, who's in his third game of this postseason. Ron Renicky sometimes will use Saito. And in the seventh inning, other times LaTroy Hawkins before he goes to K-Rod and Axford. But Saito's pitched well in this postseason.
There's John Axford, the closer for Milwaukee. Gerardo Parra takes a fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. 8-9-1 for the Diamondbacks here. It'll be Parra. Jeff Blum's come out to the on-deck circle. Then Bloomquist back at the top of the order. Parra has walked and struck out. 0 for 1. And strikeout in the fourth inning, his 7th of this division series. Doesn't like that call, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Blum.
Heavy sinker from Saito. Just saw his slider, a backdoor for a strike. It's a lot of ground balls.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Saito pitching to relief last Sunday in game 2, picked up the win. He's worked 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and 1 hit batter. There's the 1-2. Parra lifts one in the air down the left field line. Ryan Braun drifting toward the foul line is under it. 1 out. Let's go back to the studios in Atlanta. Matt Weiner.
Matt, are we sure that that wasn't Craig Sager?
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
And with no answer, who knows?
I guess they're checking.
Yeah, they are. Rick Kranitz going through the scouting report with Jeff Blum coming up to pinch hit here. Francisco Rodriguez is up now.
Quick visit out there for the scouting report on Jeff Blum. Good low ball hitter. Missed a lot of the year with injuries. But you had to figure too that all of these guys, especially the ones at the end of the ball game, would be willing to go multiple innings if need be.
Blum lays off the breaking pitch, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. It's just 224 this year in 23 games. 275 from the left side of the plate with 2 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Bloomquist in the top of the order on deck. The 1-0 pitch. This one down the left field line, not hit very deep. Braun giving chase, and he's not going to get there. Ricocheting off the tarp. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
One-run decisions for these 2 ball clubs. Diamondbacks with an outstanding record. Milwaukee as well. Detroit separated the 2. And we've got a tight one tonight.
Foul back off the glove of Lucroy, and it's 1-2. Blum, a career .247 hitter as a pinch hitter. A home run at 35 runs batted in. The 1-2. Check swing. He went around. Says Jeff Kellogg. 2 outs.
He did go, and that was an outstanding pitch by Saito. Slider that got him to chase. Takashi with a lot of experience in Japan before coming to the U.S., finishing up games, and then did a good job in the Dodger system. Pitched last year for Atlanta.
That's what the acquisition of Francisco Rodriguez did from the New York Mets. Kind of backed everybody up into a more consistent role, deepening that bullpen as Bloomquist takes a strike.
Well, he's no kid. He's 41 years old. He's been through the wars. Successive years with the Dodgers, 24 saves, 39, 18. Went to Boston for a couple of years and then Atlanta before landing here.
0-1 pitch. Bloomquist takes called strike 2. Fastball. And the 44,028 here on their feet once again at Miller Park.
Well, it's a big inning. This bridge inning to get to K-Rod and then to Axford. And so far, so good for Saito. Jonathan Lucroy will sleep good tonight.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
This poor guy has been beat up today.
Where's the whirlpool?
Yeah. Got him on the bare hand.
One ball, 2 strikes.
He's had enough.
Bloomquist 0 for 3 in this one.
Third time today that the Brewers pitcher has started to walk. Twice by Gallardo and now Saito.
Pretty good pitch.
Yes, it was.
Count even now at 2-2. Fouled off to the right.
These people here are so primed. I mean, it's only the third time in the Brewers' history they've been to the postseason, and like was written today in the paper, when they made it 3 years ago, they were just happy to be there. And they got beat by the Phillies, but high hopes this year, high expectations. Their fans, their players, their manager think that they can win it all. But they got to get 7 more outs.
Another 2-2. Bloomquist, a bouncer to short. Betancourt has it. The inning comes to an end. 7th inning stretch time at Miller Park. The Brewers leading the Diamondbacks 2-1. They're rolling out the barrel here in Milwaukee right now. Bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 Brewers. New pitcher on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks as Brian Shaw takes over for Ian Kennedy, who allowed 2 runs in his 6 innings of work. And Shaw's done a nice job all season long for the Diamondbacks.
You know, it's funny real quick on the 2 starting pitchers. It didn't appear today that Gallardo had his best stuff. He was a little wild today, but he did a great job of hanging in there and keeping it close. And even Kennedy had got in some trouble, and he was able to pitch out of some jams and give his team a chance. But this guy has pitched good. He's been in 3 games out of the 5. This is the 4th game out of 5 and hasn't given up a run. And I've been impressed with him. He's got a good arm. Throws hard. Decent slider.
He'll be facing a pinch hitter. The 9th spot in the order. The pitcher's spot, Casey McGee, will lead things off here from Milwaukee. Corey Hart and Nigel Morgan to follow. Shaw pitched 2 days ago, went an inning and 2/3, all zeros for him. McGee gets introduced here to a nice round of applause, even though he struggled offensively all season long. 223 average, 13 home runs, 67 runs batted in.
After driving in over 100 last year.
One ball, no strikes. McGee hit 285 for Milwaukee last year. 23 home runs, 104 runs batted in. And Shaw missing wildly, and it's 2-0.
It's going to be hard enough for the Diamondbacks offense to come back against what you expect to be Francisco Rodriguez next inning and Axford in the 9th if the score remains the same. So don't complicate matters and make it harder. You got to hold this Brewers offense right here, even though you know you got to go through the heart of their order one more time.
The 2-1 pitch. Strike on the outside corner, 2-2. A swing and a miss. Down goes McGee. There's out number 1.
A couple of days ago, with the lead at 4 in Arizona, Corey Hart looked like he had tied the game with a grand slam off of Shaw and was that much short. Great play by Parra. Robbed him of even an extra base hit, turned into a sacrifice fly that cut short what might have been a big inning.
Hart fouls off the first pitch. Tardy on that 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It's 0-1. The Brewers right fielder 1 for 3 in this one. Had a base hit in the 5th inning. On the corner, 0-2. There's Ian Kennedy. 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 runs on 6 hits.
Talk about a range of emotions last inning.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Hart. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brian Shaw. Hey, catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball Championship Series on TBS and Fox. Join the postseason debate at MLBFanCave.com and follow the action on Twitter with the hashtag postseason. Legends are born in October. Two outs and nobody on for the center fielder, Nigel Morgan. 1 for 3 game for Morgan. Double with a run scored in the 4th. Well, he tied himself up with that pitch.
He's throwing hard. His fastball is 93, 94. He's complementing that with a slider that he used for both strikeouts and ran that one right in on. Morgan's hands couldn't get the barrel to it.
Didn't miss by much. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Morgan. Braun on deck. Another multi-hit game for Braun in this series. A single and a double. He started that 6th inning off with that double. 2-1 strike on the corner. 2-2.
Morgan a big part of this game too. That leadoff double he had in the 4th inning.
Swing and a miss. The bat goes flying under the warning track, and Brian Shaw has just struck out the side. 7 complete in Milwaukee. Brewers still on top 2-1.
Telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Top of the 8th inning. Milwaukee leading it 2-1 over the Diamondbacks. A couple of changes for Milwaukee. See Francisco Rodriguez, or K-Rod, comes into the game after Takashi Saito had a 1-2-3 7th, including a strikeout.
And a guy who really solidified their bullpen when they made the deal for him. The closer, who is now the setup guy for Axford.
Facing 2, 3, and 4 here in the 8th. Aaron Hill shows bunt, takes that breaking pitch outside. You saw Carlos Gomez in center field. That moves Niger Morgan over to right. Corey Hart no longer in the game.
Rodriguez doesn't throw as hard as he used to. He's still in the low 90s, though.
Hill pulls it foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's kind of a slurvy curveball, and he works in a changeup as well.
Hill in this game is 0 for 3. A strikeout and a couple of fly ball outs. Went around the breaking pitch. 1-2.
He'll throw the breaking ball to the right handles more, and the changeup more often to the lefties.
Picked up in a deal from the New York Mets. Appeared in 31 games for Milwaukee. Went 4-0 to 1.86 ERA. Did not allow an earned run in his last 16 games with Milwaukee. Here's the 1-2. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Getting a little harder and a little harder for Lucroy to get up every time. 2 strikes on the batter. He's got to try to make sure that ball doesn't get by him.
Yep, that got him on the hit. 2-2 pitch. Upstairs, full count.
That changeup got away from him, and he's fortunate that it was a real bad one and sailed up head high, because Hill is a good high ball hitter.
The payoff. Hill takes that one down low, and it's a leadoff walk. A man on for Justin Upton.
That'll drive you crazy. Ahead of him in the count, couldn't put him away, and walked him on a breaking ball. Box score today for the Diamondbacks, and their only run came from this man, an opposite field homer in the 3rd inning. That was off Gallardo.
The team that has come from behind a lot this year. 48 times they've come from behind. Tops in Major League Baseball as Upton takes outside, and it's 1-0. Down 2-0. They went home. The Diamondbacks taking the 2 games in their ballpark. Games 3 and 4. Tuesday and Wednesday. Took an early lead here, but now trail it by a run. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes, and Rodriguez having troubles finding the strike zone.
Boy, he's all over the place after getting ahead of Hill. There are the comeback wins for the Diamondbacks, the most in baseball. I'm not even sure what that last pitch was. It was 88, but it was kind of sailing up. Not his usual fastball, which is somewhere usually in the 90 to 92 range.
Two-0 pitch. A strike on the corner. 2-1. Plenty of postseason experience for Francisco Rodriguez. Spent 2+ years with the Mets. Originally with the Angels. The 2-1. Upton a swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Got a good pitch to hit. Two-seamer, though, that was sinking. Replay showed a lot better pitch than I thought it was. That had good sinking motion to it. From 2-0 to 2-2.
Hill over at first base in the 2-2 pitch. Up to the swing and a miss. There's out number 1. Went with the breaking pitch.
And I don't know if he stumbled or if he did this for effect, but he almost fell down after he delivered it. Straight change up and a beauty at 77 miles an hour. And Upton couldn't stay back.
So 1 out, 1 on for Miguel Montero. 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to left.
And a runner being held at first, so a pretty good opening for him over there, although Weeks is playing toward the hole to try to plug it up.
Montero pulls one past fielder into right field. Hill will round second. He'll head to third. Morgan gets the baseball back in. So Montero with his first hit of this game puts runners at the corners with one out. And Paul Goldschmidt coming up.
And got a fastball that he could turn on and pulled it right past Prince Fielder. Hard hit. And the Diamondbacks are in business with an opportunity to tie or take the lead. How about this? How about one of the biggest at bats of the year? The biggest, I guess, for the Diamondbacks right here on the shoulders of this kid.
2 for 3 today with a couple of singles and a ground out.
And as we've talked about this whole series, he's really good at going the other way.
The first one way outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Brewers have actually had their best success against him running the ball in on him.
Aaron Hill with a leadoff walk stands at third. Montero with a 1-out base hit at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Down to the dirt, smothered by Lucroy. Nice job. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
On that changeup from Rodriguez, it's almost like he's trying to hang on to it as long as he can before he falls down. And that was the pitch that struck out Upton, and that was the pitch he just made to Goldschmidt.
Nyjer Morgan very deep in right field. Gomez and Braun in center and left respectively straight up as Goldschmidt swings and misses on the breaking ball. It's 2-1.
What a good pitch that was. 2-0. That's that slurvy breaking ball, and that was a beauty.
One pitch. This one pulled foul. And the count even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That looked like a hanger, but far enough inside that all Goldschmidt could do was pull it foul. Big hole on the right side for Goldschmidt too, with Montero being held on.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Goldschmidt. 2 outs.
A huge out. And after falling behind 2-0, he got away with a couple of breaking balls, and that one in particular had enough taken off of it that Goldschmidt was out in front, couldn't stay back. And now after that excitement, you still got an out to get, and a tough one at that.
Chris Young, the center fielder, 1 for 3, had a base hit in the 6th inning. One ball, no strikes.
Another good stop. But first and third and less than 2 outs, you're almost ready to concede a sacrifice fly, or hoping to get a ground ball and turn a double play and somehow get out of the inning. But now there's so much pressure with the, the runners are going on the crack of the bat. Really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, especially this Milwaukee infield.
Swing and a miss, off speed pitch. 1-1. The Diamondbacks certainly have gotten the job done with 2 outs. Hits and runs. 15 of the Diamondbacks' 19 runs of the last 3 games have come with 2 outs, including in this game.
Great opportunity here.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Way outside, overthrowing the fastball. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, anything that gets by Lucroy, the game is tied because Hairston's playing back behind the bag as he should be. Trying to allow for some more range. Hill can get a nice big walking lead.
Montero at first and Hill at third. 2-1 Milwaukee. 2 outs here in the 8th. The pitch takes it side. They ask for help. James Hoy says Young did not go, and it's 3-1.
Breaking ball's been his pitch of choice here when he's been in this jam, but couldn't get Young to chase there. He definitely did not go. So here Chris Young's got an opportunity to look for something other than fastball if he wants. That's what Rodriguez has thrown behind in the count. He's got one to play with if he so chooses to look for something off speed.
The 3-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. Got the fastball up. It's a full count now. Montero will be off with the pitch at first base. It looks like Fielder is going to play just behind him. He walked him, and they're loaded up for Ryan Roberts. Second walk of the inning to go with the 2 strikeouts.
Through a 3-1 fastball, then a 3-2 breaking ball. Good at bat by Chris Young.
Go back to the first inning. A couple of nights ago, Ryan Roberts off Randy Wolf, a grand slam in the first inning. Chris Young followed with a solo shot. At that point, made it 5-1 Arizona. Colin Cowgill pinch running for Miguel Montero at second. It's a good speed on the bases all the way around.
And again, now even more pressure on the defense with the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position.
It's a Diamondbacks team that hit .387 during the regular season in these situations with 6 grand slams. First pitch to Roberts. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him, and it is 0-1. Roberts, a third baseman, 1 for 3 today. Had a base hit back into second.
A notorious first pitch fastball hitter, and they threw him a big hook to start.
Outfield and the infield straight up against Roberts. K-Rod's 0-1 pitch. Fouled back to the screen. It is 0-2.
Looked like a pitch up and out over the plate a little bit. Hittable. Oh, yeah, right there. May have pulled off of it just a little bit. You'd like to have that one back for certain. Got to go into your defensive posture now as a hitter.
0-2 count with 2 outs. Ground ball towards short. Bencourt comes up with it, fires to Weeks, and they force out Young. And the top of the 8th comes to an end. Brewers still leading it 2-1. Hot topics like David Wells discussing his surprise to hear former teammate Robin Ventura named the Chicago White Sox new manager. Go behind the mic with the biggest names in sports, presented by Allstate exclusively on SI.com. Bottom of the 8th here at Miller Park. New pitcher on for the Arizona Diamondbacks. David Hernandez takes over for Brian Shaw, who went one inning and struck out the side. Hernandez will be pitching to a new catcher, Henry Blanco. Sees action for the first time in this series. Taking over for Miguel Montero. The Diamondbacks with a new third baseman as well. Sean Burroughs is at the hot corner.
Assuming Burroughs will be plugged into the 9th spot in the batting order, which is due up second in the top of the 9th. Hernandez gave up a couple of runs, as you saw in the 8th inning in Arizona in Game 4, but otherwise has pitched lights out.
3, 4, and 5 for Milwaukee here in the bottom of the 8th. Braun, Fielder, and Weeks. First pitch swinging, got a fastball, comes up empty, and it's 0-1.
You think Ryan Braun hasn't contributed this home field advantage the Brewers have? 8 for 10 here at Miller Park in this division series.
2 for 2 today with a single and a double, a walk and a run scored. One ball, one strike.
And 3 walks in all in the 5 games. He's been on base all the time.
Arizona with a run in the 3rd inning to take a 1-0 lead. Milwaukee tied it in the 4th. And the Brewers took the lead in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss. 96 miles per hour. It's 1-2. Hernandez coming over from the Orioles as part of the Mark Reynolds trade. Helped reestablish that bullpen for Arizona that struggled mightily last year. Shaw's done a nice job. Hernandez, J.J. Putz, their closer. This one fouled back. Kevin Towers telling us before Game 1 that we had an eye on David Hernandez because of the similarities between him and Keith Bell, the minor league numbers of starters, right? How they came up. That's why he zeroed in on him.
Well, as we've been saying, it's all about command for him. He throws hard. And when he's hitting his spots, as Braun has noticed here in this at bat, he's thrown a couple of fastballs by him. He's tough.
One ball, 2 strikes. Braun, the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 8th. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. Blanco fires on the first to complete the strikeout.
What a range of emotions in the 6th inning. It looked like Jerry Hairston was going to drive in a couple of runs, except for the great play. That was the 2nd out of the inning, and then just moments later, misery for the Diamondbacks as it's Betancourt who wins the crowd over with 2 outs in that blue pit to center field to drive in the go-ahead run. That happened within seconds of one another.
Here's Prince Fielder. A strikeout, a pop-up, and a walk. 0 for 2. Roberts rolling into that fielder's choice that ended the top of the 8th inning. Diamondbacks in the 9th have 8, 9, and 1 due up. Parra, Burroughs, and then Bloomquist. That pitch way inside, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
Prince Fielder has reached on a walk, but otherwise has not been able to create the damage here that he did in games 1 and 2 yet.
Two-0 pitch. Pull to the right side. Goldschmidt with the backhand. He'll feed Hernandez for out number 2.
2
Coming up next, it's Game 5 between the Cardinals and the Phillies. Dick Stockton, Ron Darling, John Smoltz, and Craig Sager will have the call, followed by Inside MLB, presented by Captain Morgan. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Ricky Weeks, the batter. 0 for 2 today. 1 for 17 in the series. Twice hit by a pitch in this series. Once today. Oh, 1 count. Diamondbacks looking to face John Axford in that 9th inning.
Sorry, Victor. It's just the game we expected, though. Tightly contested, good pitching, and still a game.
Weeks reaching for this one. Lofts one out to shallow right. Aaron Hill going out, gives way to Justin Upton. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 9th. Brewers trying to pick up their first postseason series win since 1982. Will turn the ball over to John Axford, with the Brewers leading it 2-1. Conan all night, all new weeknights, only on TBS. John Axford on to close things out for the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers leading it 2-1 here in the 9th inning.
First time he's pitched since Sunday, and it was a non-save situation, and he walked a couple of guys, but got out of it. Struck out 2 as well. Can't afford any walks tonight. And he's got 2 left-handed hitters to start him. Diamondbacks desperately need somebody to get on base, as Craig Counsell also checks in to play second.
Gerardo Parra swinging first pitch, lines one to the alley in right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Parra on his way to second. He'll stop there with his first hit of the division series. A leadoff double.
My goodness. Well, he's been trying this whole series to get something that he can pull, Victor. And he got a first pitch fastball, and he was on it. No stride, just picked his heel up, put it back down, and laced that into right center. What a time for your first hit. That got everybody up off the bench and on the rail in the Diamondback dugout.
Diamondbacks had an opportunity in the 8th inning against Francisco Rodriguez. They left the bases loaded. Here's Sean Burroughs. First plate appearance of the night. Hairston playing in at third. Fielder just behind the bag at first. Showing bunt. That one almost got him.
How to miss him.
They want an appeal at third base. Did not go. Alfonso Marquez with the call. And it's 1 ball, no strikes.
I mean, they might have thought he went because it turned into a yard sale. Helmet, bat, everything. Just trying to get his face out of the way. Welcome to the game, Sean. Definitely didn't bunt at it. Huge spot here for a guy right off the bench. Trying to get that runner over to third to keep this game going.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Not bunting, fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's amazing, though, that as tight as this game has been contested and as good a shape as the Brewers were coming into this inning with their closer on and leading 81-1 after 8 innings, it is still a game that can flip and just on one swing.
Parra leading off at second. Nobody out here in the ninth. The 1-1. Missed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sean Burroughs, 78 games with the Diamondbacks this year. Hit .273. A home run, 8 runs batted in. Hit .285 as a pinch hitter for the D-backs.
See if they let him continue to swing away here. He handles the bat real well. Or if they put the bunt back on.
Fouls it off the left. Late on the fastball at 97 from Axford. 2-2.
Truthfully, Victor, 97's hard to bunt. Especially hard to bunt when it's right up under your chin.
Yep.
But it is hard to soften the ball and get it down. And it could be that Kirk Gibson decided, you know what, he's got a better chance of just hitting a ground ball and getting him over.
Missing upstairs, a full count. Axford with 46 saves, breaking the single season franchise record held by Francisco Cordero, who set it at 44 back in 2007, converting his last 43 opportunities.
And Burroughs should get something better to hit here. He's the go-ahead run. They don't want to walk him. They don't want to trick him. They're going to go right after him. You just got to get the barrel of the bat out there.
3-2. This one looped towards short. Bencourt can't get it. It falls in for a hit. Parra's going to be stopped at third as Braun runs the baseball back in. And almost some contact between Williams and Parra.
Yeah.
Matt Williams close to that foul line, putting on the stop sign.
What a job by Sean Burroughs fighting this 97 fastball off, dumping it out there. But look where Ryan Braun was playing. He was very shallow for Burroughs. And remember, too, Willie Bloomquist getting gunned out at the plate in the first inning of Game 1 on a play not unlike that.
That's one of the oddest moves I've ever seen by a third base coach. Alfonso Marquez, a third base umpire, making sure that there was no contact there. Rick Kranitz is going to come out and pay a visit. Last blown save for John Axford, April 18th at Philadelphia. Brewers came back to win in 12 innings, 6-3 the final.
And he's been perfect since. Diamondbacks had first and third, 1 out last inning, couldn't score, had bases loaded, 2 out, couldn't score. But they're scat backs here, 8, 9, and now 1. That put some pressure on the Brewers with nobody out.
Parra standing at third. He represents the tying run. Burroughs over at first base. Here's Willie Bloomquist, 0 for 4 today. Shows bunt, puts it up first base line. The safety squeeze. The play. There is none. This game is tied. Fielder thought about coming home, tried to come home, could not get rid of the baseball. And we're tied up at 2 here in the ninth.
How about that? And Axford got in the way of Fielder. If they were going to have a play, there was a collision over there as Fielder was trying to toss the ball to home plate. It was a safety squeeze. Once the ball's down, then Parra broke. But right here, Axford got in Fielder's way. No chance for any play. Everybody's safe. And look at the dugout.
Bloomquist with a hit and an RBI, and still nobody out here in the ninth. Stunned here at Miller Park.
Like I said, it can flip on one swing.
Aaron Hill, the batter. Corner infielders playing in. Hill takes the breaking pitch for strike one. Gerardo Parra starting it off with his first hit of the division series here in the ninth with a double to the alley in right center. And then Burrows, a bloop base hit to left. The safety squeeze by Willie Bloomquist. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Missed upstairs. 1-1.
It's funny, this whole series, when we asked Kirk Gibson about trying to play for an early run, moving runners up, the only reply we usually got was, well, we don't usually play that way, but if it presents itself, we'd certainly try to take advantage of it. And here they are in the ninth inning of Game 5, and they put down a suicide squeeze, or safety squeeze, rather.
One pitch. Hill lifts one foul and out of play on the first base side. A ball and 2 strikes now.
That was right before the safety squeeze. A heads up from the Brewers manager. To no avail. Great execution by Willie Bloomquist.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Hill. Trying to hold up. There's out number 1.
Here's that bunt again. And watch Parra at third. He's creeping, but he waited to make sure the ball was on the ground. If Fielder was going to have a play, it was taken away from him by Axford. And I'm not sure he was going to have a chance at him anyway.
Justin Upton at the plate. 1 for 3. Solo home run in the 3rd inning. Fly ball to center in the 6th. A strikeout victim in the 8th. Late on the fastball. It's 0-1. 0 for 5 in his career against Axford. 3 strikeouts.
Got to tune it up against this guy. Try to slow everything else down and let your hands work.
The 0-1. Boy, late on that pitch again. Rolls it foul up the first base line. Axford running that one up there at 98. It's 0-2. Is Bob Vaughn hoping for the best.
I'm sure she's feeling a whole lot better than she did, though, at the end of the top of the 8th inning when they were not able to capitalize. Ahead in the count, don't have to throw him a strike.
The 0-2, way up and in. A 1-2 count now.
Had a couple of good swings, but late on the fastball, they knock him down. Let's see if they come back with something off speed with that slider to see if he is a little over aggressive after the dust back and chases it.
John Burrows standing at second, representing the go-ahead run. Bloomquist at first. The 1-2 pitch. Little number back to the mound. Axford fires over to second base. Counsell has it's the only play they have. 2 away. They did go to that breaking pitch. Upton reaches on the fielder's choice, but there are 2 outs now, and Henry Blanco will come up for the first time in this series.
It's a pretty good breaking ball too. Upton just topped it right back to him. Well, if Parra waited this long to get his first hit, and Blanco had to wait this long to get his first at bat, then maybe this is just the magical inning for the D-backs.
With 250 this year, 8 home runs, 12 runs batted in. If you're tuning in for the Phillies and Cardinals, that game getting underway on TNT. Blanco looks at a breaking pitch and misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Henry's really strong. He can hit a fastball. He can turn on it. Just don't make a mistake about belt high middle in.
One and one.
It's not a win yet for the Diamondbacks, but it's another one of their great comebacks.
1-1 pitch. This one chopped towards the middle. Betancourt to his left. Has it. Goes to the bag. And they got him. Betancourt beats Justin up to the bag. The inning comes to an end and Betancourt is hurt. The Diamondbacks tie things up here in the 9th inning. The safety squeeze by Willie Bloomquist. As Betancourt appears to be all right. We head to the bottom of the 9th at Miller Park. But this game tied at 2. At 2, if you're looking for the Phillies and Cardinals, it is underway on TNT. David Hernandez back out for his 2nd inning of work. And here at the bottom of the 9th, he'll face Hairston, Betancourt, and Lucroy. If the inning goes beyond that, Craig Counsell. Nice play by Betancourt to force out Justin Upton to end the top of the 9th inning.
Boy, that turned out to be a real close play, too. A foot race to the bag. Good job so far, too, by the Diamondbacks bullpen, with Shaw and Hernandez retiring all 6 guys they've faced.
Shaw striking out the side of the 7th. Hernandez retiring the side in order in the 8th, including a strikeout. Hairston today, a strikeout, a sac fly, and a fly ball to center. That was the one that Chris Young made a terrific play on. As Hairston drives one toward deep left center field. Giving chase is Parra. He's there. He'll make the catch. 1 out. Last 2 at-bats for Jerry Hairston. He's driven the ball well, but nothing to show for it.
Talk about frustrating when you hit it on the button like that. Ron Renicky came out in the on-deck circle between innings when Betancourt was loosening up, double-checking to make sure that he was okay to hit and especially to run after Upton slid into him.
1 for 3 game for the Brewers shortstop. Looks at a fastball away. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. It was Betancourt who had the RBI single that put Milwaukee up 2-1 in the 6th inning. And then Ron Renicky going to work with his bullpen. Saito, Rodriguez, and then Axford. But Axford giving up the run the 9th as Betancourt pops this one up on the left side of the infield. Sean Burrows, the third baseman, is under it. 2 outs. So with 2 outs and nobody on, here comes Jonathan Lucroy. If we get into extra innings, the Diamondbacks in the top of the 10th inning will have Goldschmidt, Young, and then the pitcher spot in the order. Two guys left on the bench for Kirk Gibson, Lyle Overbay and John McDonald. Lucroy takes that pitch inside and is 1-0. The Brewers catcher 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to right. Arizona with 10 hits, Milwaukee with 5.
With the beating Lucroy's taken behind the plate tonight, you wonder what he's got left.
Here's a 2-0. A strike. 2-1.
One of the things that goes along with the home field advantage and having this crowd be as electric as it is and the way the Brewers play here, but the great advantage is you get to hit last.
That one just missed off the plate. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
And in sudden death, they're a dangerous club.
Takes a strike. Full count now. The payoff pitch, a swing and a miss. Down goes Lucroy, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for David Hernandez. We're headed into extra frames as this game is tied at 2. At 2, if you're tuning in, looking for the Phillies and the Cardinals, that's over on TNT. Just underway, Halladay and Chris Carpenter. John Axford back out on the mound. Second inning of work. He'll face Goldschmidt, Young, and then the pitcher spot. We saw the records in extra inning games this year. Goldschmidt fouls off the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Arizona 9-4 this year. Milwaukee 7-7.
I believe Axford's saves, all of them are one-inning saves. So it's unusual for him to have to work anything more than an inning.
Longest career outing for Axford, 2 innings. He's done it 7 times, once this year. As Goldschmidt lifts one in the air to left, chasing Braun back. Got a beat on it. Makes the catch, 1 out. Goldschmidt got locked up on that fastball in. Makes the first down here, the 10th. That'll bring up Chris Young. Young in this game 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the 6th inning. Did draw a walk in the 8th. Francisco Rodriguez. Lyle Overbay has come out to the on deck circle. He'll be batting in the pitcher spot. Young looks at a strike. Young pulls one to short. Betancourt has it. 2 outs. So Overbay will step to the plate here. Pinch hitting in that pitcher spot. J.J. Putz loosening just in case.
That only leaves them McDonald on the bench, correct?
That'd be correct. Lum's pinch hit. Cowgill's pinch run. Blanco's in the game. Burrow's in the game. Overbay looks at a strike. You do have Micah Owens that could swing it.
Thinking about an emergency catcher too, and that may be McDonald.
The 0-1 pitch. Overbay takes the breaking ball low. Overbay spent 2 seasons here in Milwaukee, 04 and 05. He came over part of that big Richie Sexson trade. Takes a strike here, and it's 1-2. Milwaukee in the bottom of the 10th inning will have 9-1-2 due up. It stands right now Council, Gomez, and Morgan.
Overbay can be a big-time guest hitter at times, and even behind in the count, he may be sitting on the breaking ball. Good mistake hitter.
Oh for 12 as a pinch hitter this year with Pittsburgh and the Diamondbacks. 0 for 6 with Arizona. The 1-2 pitch lays off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Overbay got into 18 games with the Diamondbacks and hit .286 with 1 home run and 10 runs batted in. His original organization. Got him looking on the inside corner. Down goes Overbay. The inning comes to an end. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Game 5 tied at 2. Diamondbacks as this game is tied up at 2. J.J. Putz takes over on the mound for David Hernandez, who went 2 innings in this one, struck out 2.
He's been in 2 games. He's been sharp. Gave up only 1 hit, 1 walk. Surprisingly, no strikeouts yet. And he'll face Craig Counsell leading off the inning. And as bad a season as Craig Counsell had, he almost ran into one in Phoenix the other night, almost hit it out.
This will be his first plate appearance of this game. Came on as a defensive replacement in the 9th inning. The Brewers have gotten one of their starters up. Zach Greinke begins to loosen. Axford done after 2 innings. The first pitch is a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes.
I remember when the Brewers went to their defensive team, and there's Greinke getting ready. They took Weeks out and they took Hart out.
Putz delivers a strike, evens a count at 1-1. As a pinch hitter this year, 178 average for Craig Counsell. This one pulled to right field, upped it. Back a couple of steps, makes the catch, 1 out. Squared it up and right to the right fielder. That'll bring up Carlos Gomez for his first plate appearance. He came on in the 8th inning, taking over at center field. Nigel Morgan shifting over to right and putting Corey Hart on the bench.
And had a big night in Game 4 with a single and a homer, 2 RBIs.
Goldschmidt playing way in at first base and off the line. They wanted an appeal, did not go. 1-0.
As big a free swinger as this guy is, I'm a little surprised at the defensive alignment. Not that he doesn't have good speed, he does.
Burrow's just about even with the bag at third, now creeping in as Gomez pulls one to left field, a base hit. Putz delivered a pitch up in the strike zone, and it's a 1-out knock for Gomez. And that'll bring up Nigel Morgan.
This guy just continues to say, put me in there. Finished the season on a big note in the last 3 games of the regular season, had a big night in Game 4. And a 1-out pinch hit single here in the 10th. And he can fly. Got to keep an eye on him. 16 stolen bases in the regular season. He stole a base in Game 4 too.
Nigel Morgan at the plate, a 1-for-4 game, had a double and a run scored in the 4th. 2 for 15 in the series. Burrow's playing in near the cut of the grass at third.
Top of the order has done all the damage. Only 6 hits, though, for the Brewers on the day. They've come at good times, though, when they've been given some walks or some hit batsmen to help put runners on base.
Morgan showing bunt. The pitch is down low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Even if he wasn't intending to bunt, that was a good idea. Just to draw the infield in a step or so, cut down on their range.
Quick throw to first base. Gomez diving back in.
A lot of pressure on the Arizona defense now. because of the speed at first and the speed at the plate. Henry Blanco, also a terrific throwing catcher. If Putz gives him a chance in case Gomez steals.
Throughout 8 of 21. Limited time behind the plate this year.
He and Montero, the best combo among any team.
Outfield straight around against Morgan. Gomez takes off. And the ball gets away from Blanco. Gomez went sliding into second base. For a moment there, it looked like, as Morgan had the bat out there, that maybe he had made contact with it, but Blanco just whiffed on the baseball.
That happens,
score position.
That happens a lot, Victor, when you know the guy's going to show bunt and you pull the bat back. I was with you. I thought maybe he had foul tipped it. But Blanco coming out of the blocks too fast. Forgot one thing, and that was to catch the baseball.
Gomez gets credited with a stolen base. The winning run in scoring position with one out here in the 10th. Nigel Morgan with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Parra and left, Young and center, both playing shallow. Upton pretty much straight up in right field. The 1-1 from Putz. Slap foul. And it's 1-2.
Nigel Morgan drives in that run and wins this ball game. He'll go from Tony Plush to Tony Lush. He'll own this town.
And we'll all know about it. The 1-2 down in the dirt, blocked by Blanco. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You're in a tough spot here if you're J.J. Putz. You've got 1 out, and you've got a base open, but you don't want to put this guy on to get to Braun and Fielder. You'd like to have that luxury of having a base open with 2 outs and then work to Braun. So they're not trying to just go in and out, up and down on Nigel Morgan here. They're trying to get him out at the risk of him getting a hit.
2-2. Morgan base hit up the middle. Gomez is going to be waved around. The throw to the plate. Not in time, of the Brewers advance to the National League Championship Series.
They wanted Nigel Morgan to make an out. They didn't want to have to pitch to Braun and Fielder with 1 out. And Nigel Morgan made him pay. And he may never have a better day. Here's the pitch. Fastball out over the plate, up the middle. And with Gomez's speed, there's no chance for Chris Young. Mound even slowed it down. Our camera having a hard time staying still because this stadium was already rocking.
Morgan with his second hit of the game and his second run batted in. Came into this game 1 for 11 with 2 RBIs, and he delivers big time in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Brewers with their second ever postseason series victory. The first coming back in 1982, the second here tonight. And they will await the winner of the Cardinals and the Phillies. Let's go to Sam Ryan, who's downstairs with Nyjer Morgan.
It's Prince Fielder here right now, Victor. Talk about the intensity in this one.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Very intense. Ryan Braun joining us right now. Talk about watching Nyjer Morgan out there.
No, he's gotten so many big hits for us all year. He enjoys the moment. Just an incredible game. Unbelievable feeling to win this thing.
1982, the last time this team won a playoff series. What is it like to be part of it now?
It's amazing. I mean, we've heard all about 1982, so it's nice to start our own legacy. If we hadn't won today, I feel like everything we'd accomplished all year would have been for nothing. So it's a great feeling. It's the first step to get to where we really want to be.
What about the tension, the intensity out there?
That's how it's supposed to be. You know, that's what you live for. There's nothing better than that. So much fun. Unbelievable game. I tip my hat.
Woo! Here he is. Here's T-Clutch. Come back. No. You did it, Nyjer. T-Clutch, they're calling you. The game-winning run?
I don't know. I don't boss for orders right now. I got nothing for you, Sam. Thank you, everybody. I'm out. I gotta go.
He's out, guys. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Sam. Boy, I tell you what, he was playing off Broadway for the better part of the 4 games in the first 4 games of this division series, and boy, he came up big in this one. Milwaukee wins it in extra innings 3-2. They're on their way to the National League Championship Series to await the winner of the Cardinals and the Phillies. Coming up next, it's Game 5 between the Cards and Phillies. For Joe Simpson and Victor Rojas, thanks to Sam Ryan and our entire crew. Let's send it out to Dick Stockton, who is in Philadelphia.